Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to walk you through how to make a hexagon shape out of hulls and picks, and I'm going to do that without using any kind of template geometry or any kind of image plane. We're going to just pretty much make that straight out of the viewport with the grid and nothing else. So the first thing we want to do in a blank scene is make a single fixture that's going to represent one edge of our hexagon. So we can go ahead and click on a fixture and just right click to place it at the center. And for this tutorial, I'm going to just use one grid segment, which is 1 meter for our measuring, but yours may be a lot smaller, might be bigger, just depends on what you're trying to do. So we'll go over here into hull mode, and we'll go ahead and go into hull add mode, and we're going to go ahead and turn on grid snapping while we're at it too. So now when we hold S on the keyboard, you'll notice that we get orange snap anchors showing up for every grid point. So we're going to actually make 4 hulls, so we're going to hold S and click twice on the center grid and then twice on the grid over here. And the reason we're making 4 hulls instead of 2 is because we want to use 2 of these for snap anchors and 2 of these for actual pixel generation. The problem is when we have these holes on top of each other, it can be kind of hard to click on the one you want to click on. So for that, we can use some of our really cool shortcut keys over here. So we have shift selection and growth selection. So we have 3 selected now. If we do a shift selection +1, we'll have 0 selected, and if we do it again, we'll have 1 selected. And you can go in the other direction as well. So you can't see it because it's underneath the 3, but we have 2 selected. So with that selected, I'm going to manually adjust the hull TX, and I'm just going to grab this and adjust it. Doesn't matter where exactly, we'll fine tune this here in a moment. And then we're going to go ahead and do a shift selection minus so that we have 1 selected, and we'll do the same thing. Let's just push this in somewhere. So with that done, we can actually go in here and type in specific values. So for hull TX, I'm just going to go ahead and type in 10. And then for number 2, I'm going to type in 90. And 90 is actually 10 less than the full width. So another way you could type this in is 100 minus 10, and it's going to evaluate that for you. So once we've done that, we have our 2 outer holes, which will be useful for us to snap to, and we have our inner holes, which is what we're going to generate. Most of the time when you're using LED strips and you're lining an inside of a shape, you're going to have gaps even at the corners, so that's something that we want to account for. So we'll select these 2 holes and we'll click generator from selection, and that's going to create a generator object. It's going to parent it to our fixture, and our fixture is going to be set up with a channel order and all of that good stuff. And so all we really need to do now with our generator is set the X count to whatever it's going to be. So I'm going to set this to 5, and then I'm going to turn up the pick scale just so we can see these a little bit better. Let's go ahead and set this to 20. So with that done, we can start duplicating our fixture and making the other sides of our hexagon. So I'm going to grab fixture 1, and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to go over here to move mode, and I'm just going to kind of move this off of this object a little bit so we can kind of see them both. And you know what, let's go ahead and duplicate the rest of our fixtures as well. So let's just go and make 6 fixtures. I'm going to duplicate each one, and I'm just moving it so that we can see and click on them individually so they're not stacked on top of each other. And with that said, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can now go back to select mode, and let's go ahead and grab fixture 2, and let's go ahead and make sure our snap stuff is still set up correctly. So we need snap. Okay, grid snapping is off, that's good. So if we hold S on the keyboard, you notice that we're toggling our snaps, but we're only toggling them for the hulls and the objects we have in our viewport. So let's go ahead and drag this hull, and let's go ahead and place it right here. And with that there, we can go ahead and rotate this. We're dealing with a hexagon, so it's going to be a degree of 60. And then we can grab the next fixture, and we can do the same thing. Just hold S, drag the orange dot all the way to this orange dot. Looks like I grabbed the wrong dot. There we go. Whoops, wrong orange dot again. And then we'll type in 60 times 2. And we'll grab fixture 4. And we'll just drag this orange dot all the way to here, and we'll do 60 times 3. And the last couple will be pretty easy to do as well. Same exact process. We'll take fixture 5 and we'll just drag this right onto there, and for the RY we'll do 60 times 4. And then for the last one, we'll just drag this onto that orange dot, type in 60 times 5, and there you have it. That's a hexagon. And the last thing we might want to do, there's a couple more steps, is to center this up on the grid. Depending on how you're duplicating this and using this, you might want your anchor point to be here at the corner, you might want it to be at the side, you might want it to be at the bottom. It may just be anywhere, really. Hexagons are quite versatile. So let's go ahead and grab all of these, and then I'm going to go to create, and we're going to make a group. And with that group made, everything's parented to it, we can start positioning this to center it up. So it looks like -50 might be the X anchor center, and let's see what we're going to get for TZ. Just kind of eyeballing this. A lot of times you can find the correct math just by fiddling around with it. 84, let's see, 85, 86, 86.5. Oh, we're almost there. Let's see, 86.6. That looks like it. All right, so with that, we have a centered hexagon. As you can see, the way hexagons are built, they don't exactly fill out a full grid unit exactly. It's just not how they work. So we have this made, and there might be one more thing we want to do. If we're basically creating something that's like a fixture here and is all one fixture in real life, we don't actually have a need for these separate segments of LEDs. We might want to group this and merge the fixture into one. So what we can do is go ahead and grab all of these fixtures. We go down to tools, and we scroll down to the very bottom underneath miscellaneous. You'll see merge selected fixtures. If we go ahead and click that, what's going to happen is a few things. We're going to get a new fixture here at the top. Our old fixtures will still be there. I'm going to go ahead and hide all of those. I'm holding shift on the keyboard. And now with this one, we can just go down here to miscellaneous and click auto fixture offsets, just to fix the fixture overlap that we have. Once we've done that, our overlaps are fixed, and you can delete this if you want. We'll go ahead and get rid of it. And now we can take this fixture and just name this something like hexagon 1, and there we go. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now this is ready to use, assuming that we have the right starting coordinate here, and then we also have basically gaps at every single edge. So this lets us have basically room for the LEDs to go from one to the next without being overlapping each other. So that's pretty much it. You may need a different start point for your LEDs. If your data starts at a different coordinate, you might have wanted to start that path here, or you can of course just rotate this whole thing now that it's centered and have the start coordinate be wherever it is. If you're actually going in the other direction instead of clockwise, you can use a scale X of -1, and you can rotate this as well. This would all be something that's really good to do before you merge your fixture down to a final fixture, because then your transforms will be zeroed out for the merged fixture, and you can pretty much rely on zeroing those out to kind of get that back to home base and it be correct. So that would be my recommendation there. All right, thanks for watching. That's going to be the end of this tutorial.